Okay, so apparently you cannot be a school teacher in Missouri and have an OnlyFans. Jack Lew has officially been confirmed by the Senate as the ambassador to Israel, and another big win for gun rights in America. A judge slams down California's ban on gun shows at county fairs. Yeah, we've been getting some major wins as far as the Second Amendment goes for a while now. I mean, back in the day, back in like the 80s and 90s, we had an assault weapons ban. You couldn't get an AR-15, anything like that. Now you can get all kinds of guns, and it's a whole lot easier to get a gun, which some people deem as a bad thing. But we do have pretty much universal background checks, so I don't know why the left keeps bitching about universal background checks, because we have them. You can't go to a gun show and purchase a gun without having a background check. You can't go to a gun store and purchase a gun without a background check. They do go very quickly. They have streamlined that process to perfection, I must say. You can get one within like 10 to 15 minutes at some places. You know, sometimes it may take an hour or so, I've heard. But I mean, that's pretty quick. I mean, you know, internet these days and whatnot. So we loving all of that. We loving all that. And Jack Lew, yeah, he's apparently the Biden administration's ambassador to Israel. But whatever, you know, let the Biden administration keep on losing. I mean, you're going to pick somebody like Jack Lew. Do you even know who Jack Lew is? Yeah, look him up. What's up, everybody? This is Legitical Response. We cover news. We cover political news. Sometimes we cover some cultural stuff. You never know. You never know. But hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, because stick around, because I cover news that is not in the mainstream, that is very important to politics. Like I said, don't forget to hit that like button, you guys. Go ahead, hit that like button right now. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Knock it out. Do whatever you got to do to smash that like button. What's up, y'all? How's your day going? I hope you're having a pretty good day. We are having a wonderful day around Legitical Response. Yes, it's nice and cool outside. The wind's coming in from the north. The sky is clearing out. It's supposed to get down to like 32 degrees tonight, which is insane for Louisiana. Very insane for Louisiana. That is right. But we got some more insanity, man. The Democrats and the left are just crazy, man. They holler and scream and rail and rant and rave about democracy. Oh, my democracy. Oh, it's a threat to my democracy. My democracy. All the time. That's all they do is bitch about that. And yet, they are trying to take democracy away from us. Yes, whether you like Donald Trump or you dislike Donald Trump, this should be very alarming to you guys. They're trying to take him off the ballot, citing the 14th Amendment, a certain clause in there, talking about the amendment was essentially, you know, Article 3 of the amendment was essentially so that Confederate politicians couldn't take over the federal government, essentially. That's when it was made in 1868. And now they're trying to use that to block Donald Trump from running for president. It is complete insanity, and their arguments are just, well, we'll get into that. Let's get through this story right fast. Watch how they frame this story, this article, the title for this article. Trump's relationship with far-right groups under scrutiny during insurrection trial in Colorado. So says the Associated Press. Insane. In Denver, lawyers sparred Tuesday over former President Donald Trump's relationship with the mob that attacked the Capitol, an important point in a Colorado lawsuit seeking to bar him from the 2024 ballot under the rarely used insurrection clause of the Constitution. Still to come, arguments over whether the events of January 6, 2021 amounted to an insurrection under a provision put in the Constitution in 1868 to prevent former Confederates from taking over the government. Insane, man. The plaintiffs presented testimony from an extremism expert. Like, really? An extremism expert? They really have experts on extremism? Wouldn't you think that to be a little bit extremist? How the hell do you become an extremism expert? That's something I would like to... Let me know down in the comments if any of you guys know how the hell do you become an extremism expert. Is there a college course that you can take to do this? I mean, or is it a specialized course you can go and take? How much is this course that you can go and take? You know, is it extracurricular? Or do you just become an extremism expert by being an extremist or just hanging out with extremists for a very long amount of time? I would really love to know the answers to these questions. So if you guys know, let me know down in the comments, because I'm curious. From an extremism expert who maintained that Trump had a clear relationship with far-right extremists and that they interpreted his pleas to protest the certification of President Joe Biden's win as a call to arms. So that's the basis for their case, is I interpret it this way, so therefore we can't have Trump on the fucking ballot in 2024. That makes literally no sense. I mean, come on, bring some facts here. You can't just say that, oh, I think that's what he meant, and I think that they interpreted it that way, so therefore disregard all the exculpatory evidence that we have that says...
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
And also disregard the evidence that...
But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this.
A consistent theme is individuals reporting that they thought that Donald Trump had sent them there, said sociology professor Peter Simi of Chapman University, a private college in Southern California. Naturally. Yeah, a California. Yeah, we can trust his word. Trump's lawyers say his comments protesting the election results were merely a matter of him stating his opinion, which he had every right to do. And we have an amendment in the Constitution for that. It is the very first amendment, and everybody has a right to freedom of speech. That's right. You have a right to lie your ass off if you want to. It might not look good for you, but you have a right to do that. Insane, man. The hearing in Colorado is one of two this week, with the second before the Minnesota Supreme Court on Thursday that could end up before the U.S. Supreme Court. The nation's highest court has never before ruled on the Civil War-era provision in the 14th Amendment. Yeah, they're going to have more rulings on the 14th Amendment too, because if you've looked up Cenk Uygur, he's running for president, and he is not a natural-born citizen. He's a naturalized citizen. And if you look in the 14th Amendment, they say that all citizens have equal rights. Natural-born citizens or naturalized citizens have equal rights. And Cenk is using that to argue that naturalized citizens can run for president of the United States. He makes a very, very good argument. And if I was one of the judges, I would have to agree with him, in my honest opinion. But let's keep going. Late Tuesday, a law professor was expected to testify about Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which has been used only a handful of times since it was adopted a century and a half ago. The testimony will get to the heart of the thorny legal issues in the case raises. What constitutes an insurrection, and how can the extreme political penalty of being barred from office be applied? I would say in this case it can't, but I'm biased. That's why I call it biased news. The plaintiff's lawyers contend the provision is straightforward and that Trump is clearly disqualified from the presidency, just as if he were under the Constitution's minimum age for the office of 35. I would really love for them to explain that one to me, because how can speculation be clearly a disqualification? How can him interpreting something that he said that was totally opposite, by the way?
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Like I said,
but you have to go home now. We have to have peace.
How can he interpret that?
We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order
as something totally different. He can't control those people and what they did. Those people that busted into the Capitol were a bunch of idiots. And there's a conspiracy theory out there that thinks that they were egged on by the FBI. There's another one that says it was Antifa that started the riots, and these lemmings just followed right on in and just said, screw it, which you could make an argument for that. That's not just a conspiracy theory. Well, it is a conspiracy theory, but if you look at some of the video evidence, that you could make a pretty good case for that. I don't believe it. I believe we just had a bunch of knuckleheads that got a little bit rowdy and decided to do something very, very stupid. Trump's lawyers argue that there remain a host of questions. Those include whether the amendment's authors even meant for the provision to apply to the presidency, which it's not mentioned in it, although presidential and vice presidential electors are along with senators and members of the House of Representatives. They also question whether it applies only to those who take up arms or extends to others who simply exercise their free speech rights to support unpopular causes. Yeah, I think Trump has a very solid case here, but if you've been following this, you know that the judge in this case has donated money to an organization that their sole purpose of existence is to get rid of MAGA Republicans. Yeah, so she donated to that cause. So there's a clear bias there. How can you have a judge be fair when that same judge is totally against what she's supposed to be judging? Can you see how people would begin to think that the justice system in America is completely shot, or at least when it comes to Donald Trump and some of the right wing is completely shot? Yeah, I mean, I would have to agree with the right on this one. I don't consider myself right wing. I do have a lot of conservative values, but I'm not, I'll say I'm not far right. I'm center right, I guess. Because I do have some leftist kind of values, you know, like trans people. I could care less, you know, do your thing, just don't bother me. I guess that's more libertarian, but all right, let's keep going, y'all. Scott Gessler, Trump's lead Colorado attorney and a former Republican Secretary of the State there, dismissed the lawsuit as anti-democratic and noted that one other presidential candidate, socialist labor organizer Eugene Debs, even ran for the office from prison without people trying to use Section 3 to disqualify him. Amazing. If they don't like President Trump, they need to get involved in an election, Gessler said after the first day of testimony on Monday. But what they're trying to do is short-circuit an election. That's right. They are scared of Donald Trump. These people will go to the ends of the earth to stop Donald Trump from getting into the presidency again. They must hate America. That's all I can say. Because, like I said in the video yesterday, look at what we were doing in 2019 before COVID. We had the best economy we've ever had. Things were going great. Regulations were cut. people were getting stuff done. We were doing really well. And they want to take all that away. As soon as Joe Biden comes into office, you know, all that stuff goes away. Keystone Pipeline, the border opens up. That border, man, I'm telling you, Joe Biden has screwed this country over with that border. Sorry, let me not get to railing on that. The Colorado testimony began with a description of the January 6th assault, which was intended to stop Congress from certifying Biden's election win. I would like for them to be able to prove that. Lawyers representing 6 Republican and unaffiliated Colorado voters argue that Trump's violent rhetoric preceding the attack makes him culpable and that he should be barred from the presidency again under the clause prohibiting anyone who swore an oath to the Constitution and then engaged in insurrection against it. How could he engage in insurrection against it when he was the president of the United States? That is a rhetorical question. If you want to, go ahead and answer that in the comment section. Trump's legal team and presidential campaign assailed the 14th Amendment challenges as little more than an attempt by Democrats to derail his attempt to reclaim his old job. Trump is so far dominating the Republican presidency primary, and the lawsuits to block him were organized by 2 separate liberal groups. Copyright 2023, the Associated Press, all rights reserved. Sorry, I just wanted to read that. For some reason, I don't know what reason that is, but I would really like them to explain this.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
And I'm sorry to play that again for the 3rd time, but I really don't get it. Maybe I don't have all the information here. If there's somebody out there in the comment section that could let me know that and prove that Trump actually coordinated with these January 6th rioters and didn't tell them.
But you have to go home now.
And didn't tell them.
We have to have peace.
And didn't tell them.
We have to have law and order.
I would like to see that evidence. Otherwise, leave our democracy alone. We are doing just fine. Just because you don't like Donald Trump doesn't mean that you get to interfere with an election. I'm telling you, man, these people are desperate, and that is some of the worst people you can come up against is desperate people. When folks get desperate, they get backed into a corner. You never know what they're going to do. And they're obviously trying to railroad. They're trying to put all these charges on him, a bunch of BS charges, you know, legal novel theories, or novel legal theories. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. I used to be dyslexic, but in my head. You know, I can read forward, but I backwards say it sometimes, so. But that's all I got for this one, you guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I know what some of y'all are going to think. But let me know anyway down in the comment section what you think about them trying to take Donald Trump off of the ballot. You know, illegally, I might add, because from what I can see, they have no standing for this case whatsoever, and it's shocking that it's even being heard. I can see trying to bring it. You have a legal right to bring a case like that, sure. But you got to look at the merits of the case. And when you look at the merits of the case, there's not much merit there to go on. I mean, you have an interpretation, somebody's interpretation of something somebody said. That somebody said that was actually opposite of your interpretation. Doesn't make any sense to me, guys. But like I said, that's all I got. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications, because every time I put out a video, you're going to want to know about it probably if you like the video. So, but thanks for watching, y'all, and be positive. Peace.